Good morning. It's the 24th of July 2023. The weather's better here after some heavy rain in Ireland. Not much sunshine, but still good. This is Nigel Farage, and you may know, or maybe you don't, that Coutts Bank, he banked with Coutts Bank, which is a swanky man's bank. It's for rich people. It's in operation an awful long time, and Farage was banking with them. He probably picked them because maybe he thought he was a bit above the rest, I don't know. But in any event, he was banking away happily. And you know, Nigel Farage is the author and the father of Brexit, which I fully agree with and supported. And although I know that many people in Ireland would not vote to leave the EU, so I don't push it too much. We might even be able to work by destroying the EU from within, or if not doing that, to change it. And there are big moves now to see in Holland and Spain and Poland that the liberal left, green left, is under pressure. So I'm not that too worried about the EU one way or the other. But anyway, Nigel Farage got a note the other day from his bank that they were closing his account without any reason whatsoever. They're closing his account. Now, it can be difficult to legislate. How do you force a bank to take on various clients? You could have a person there might put in €15 and he has his money on the system and he's taking up a lot of space, or you would have someone going in and out to the bank and maybe not using it enough, or you could have a poor person going in looking for a €5 loan. And in Irish credit unions, that's quite common, not uncommon at all, to get a person coming into a credit union and looking for €20 off a loan. But in any event, they closed down his account without any reason, and he kicked up hell. I mean, he had a very high profile, and the lady in charge, the CEO, her name is Rose, her surname is Rose, she issued an apology, and the British government and the Conservative minister sided with Farage, and they said it was an absolute disgrace that you could have what they call a politically exposed person, a PEP, a politically exposed person. That's a person who campaigns on unpopular policies. And so that would include the green stuff and all of that. All this LGBTQ and woke culture. So it appears that Coutts Bank was woke to the extreme, and the bank for some of the royal family, and lots of the royal family, including the King of England, is a bit woke. He is a bit woke. So the thing about it is, anyway, he put in a Freedom of Information Act request, and that's different to an access to information on the environment, which I have used to terrific effect. I have really hit Irish scam artists, government ministers, government departments, planning and all. I really hit them very hard with access to information on the environment request. But the freedom of information is a different thing. I think you have to pay for it in any event. In any event, he got back all his papers. And it was all about Russia. He had nothing to do with Russia. It was all about him campaigning for Trump. And it was all about him running Brexit. So, they were actually weaponizing finance. Now, we see America and Europe weaponizing the finance of the Western world against the Russians. And they even tried to make it apply that to other countries as well, such as China, but they're out of their depth. The West, America and Europe, only accounts for 20% of the world's population. And what's now happening is there's a huge concerted effort to get away from the US dollar so that they won't be able again to ever weaponize their currency. China recently refused to buy US bonds. That means they refused to roll over their loans to the United States, and they bought gold instead. They bought tons and tons of gold. So the thing about it is that now she has apologized, and they've offered him an account in another bank, in another NatWest bank, which is a branch of Coutts, less swanky branch. But the point is, I want to make clear, I've investigated, And I say my channel is unique in this way. They have not given his account back. They have not restored his account with Nigel Farage's account with Kurt's bank back. So what kind of an apology is it where they apologise to him for what they've done and what was said, all lies, and they try to penalise him and make him a non-person by withdrawing his banking, and they refuse to undo the harm they have done. I'm the only one in the world to call out that point. They have not properly apologised. Now, the new legislation being brought up by the government, and in fairness to the Conservative government, it has shocked them a bit. This weaponisation, right down to your political views. I mean, so if you had a Fine Gael bank in Ireland, wherever that might be, they could take the accounts away of leading Fianna Fáil figures. They could have done that with Sinn Féin. I mean, Sinn Féin was robbing the banks for ages. Why didn't they defund them and take away their accounts? Or their IRA wing was, at least. Now, the thing about it is that they haven't restored his account. The leaning of the banking institutions and Coutts Bank was bailed out, including NatWest, was bailed out by the taxpayers, don't forget. Now, the new legislation is that they have to give you 90 days notice and they have to give you reasons. They have to give you reasons, and I'd say you'll be able to simply apply for your documentation. So they've lost that. It was a time that was secret. What the banker said about you was secret. Now they're losing that because of their antics. It wasn't going to kill them to leave Nigel alone. He was a very high-profile figure. And lots of others are also being hit with this. And it may end up in a situation where there'll be safe banks. There'll be particular banks that you're relatively safe in if you're a Conservative, and there'll be some banks you're not. And if the money flows out from the dangerous banks to the safe banks, that'll hit the dangerous banks' balance sheet. But this is a religion. They believe they're right. You must do it their way or no way. And that's basically it. Nigel has won a sort of a way, but he has not got his accounts back. And my advice to him is, say, I want my bank account fully and completely restored. And that will put it to them. And the funny thing about Nigel, he's one of these fellas, you can line him up and he play the game absolutely terrifically. And then he gets a chance at goal and he doesn't kick the ball at all. I don't know why I made videos and videos about that particular phenomenon that I have noticed and witnessed all my life. The man should have stayed in politics. He should be at the head of the Reform UK party, but he decided to take an easy life. And you can't. If I got that chance, I'd take it. If I got that chance, I would be in politics. I know they probably wouldn't vote for me, and I'd go up and I'd abuse every one of them and them crooks up in Dáil Éireann. That's what I do with them. But I'm not in that position, but he is. And that's the funny thing about it. It's something I can't fully understand. Folks, that's it. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. You just know now the difference. He has not got his Coutts Bank account back. If that changes, I'll issue a video to correct it. Thank you very much.